feel rather bilious. And I thought, should I stay? And you know when you code red and you're like, it's like almost at my throat. And if I think about this too much, I'm actually gonna hurl. And where am I gonna hurl? That's really embarrassing. And it was just like this endless. They give me laugh. They shouldn't have so much fun.
So Vicky, you arrived with us nearly a week ago.
I did.
Did you have any idea what to expect?
I thought it would be a lot worse than it has been. I think if anybody sort of knows me, I like to go on really nice holidays and stay in really nice places and have things at my kind of disposal when I need them. But so I had to reset my mind before I came in, and I had a little team talk from South who also said, you need to behave yourself, it's not going to be what you're used to, which really helped. And I think I've just immersed myself in it. It is what it is. I think if you fight against it, you're just going to have a terrible time.
And has there been anything that's been surprising?
How much I've enjoyed it, to be really honest. Like, I thought it would be, I find it a lot more challenging than I have done. I'm surprised about how much nice food has been cooked for me. Like, it's quite like a humble place to cook, but it's been really nice. I think what has also sort of surprised me is that everything is a bit harder. Like, it is a really nice way to live your life. I completely understand that. But you know, if you want to make a cup of tea, you're having to boil that kettle on a hob, and most of us have got zip taps or. But when you get to taste the tea, it tastes incredible. The coffee, particularly, is really, really good. But it tastes incredible because you've almost earned it, you know. And I think I'll take a bit of that in my life, because we're used to having things so quickly, go to the fridge, have a shower, whereas it takes a bit more application, shall we say, to get to the joy. But with great endeavour comes great rewards, and I think that's probably a summary. It isn't it's a good life, but it's not an easy one. First night was really difficult. Just being really honest, I was sleeping in the quarter berth, and it was hot. Obviously hot is Greece, but it was extra hot, and there was no air. I got bitten. I thought, if it's going to be like this for a week, I'm going to have a really, really time and not. Oh, can I swear? Okay. I'm going to have a really bad time. But I just communicated to my hosts. I got moved into the middle bit, which is here, as you can all see clearly, which was far more comfortable. You end up having conversations about things you don't ordinarily have conversations about. So, you know, there's not very much privacy or room for modesty. But if you're open about that, that's fine. And I think I like to have my golden hour on my own, and I think we had a conversation quite early doors about how that was really important, and how if I just trot off, I'm not being ignorant, and if anyone does the same, it's not about that. It's just time to get away and just be, and then come back to it, because it is full on. It really is.
What would you say the best bit's been?
I feel like I've had exclusive access to some wonderful bits of the country I've never seen before. The best bit has been the unpredictability. Are we going, are we not? How can we find a workaround? It's not like driving a bus. We got caught in horrific. I don't even know what it was, but I nearly lost the contents of my stomach, big time. Grievous. Terrible. So that was a bit of a low light, but it was a process, and when we got to the calm bay, it was the elation of, oh my god, I can eat, I can just be. So that was a bit rock and roll. But
it sounds like you're not sure whether that was the best bit or a worse bit.
It's the memorable bit. It's a memorable bit. It's the sort of thing I'll be dining out of for free on for many years, I think.
Do you want to describe it?
What, the incident?
Well, just the conditions that were in.
It was a bit. Well, it all started off quite fun. It was quite exhilarating to start with. I was like, oh yes, I'm born to do this. Hour 3 came up, and I began to start to feel rather bilious. I thought, should I stay? And you know when you code red and you're like, it's like almost at my throat. And if I think about this too much, I'm actually gonna hurl. And where am I gonna hurl? That's really embarrassing. And it was just like this endless. They give me laugh. They shouldn't have so much fun. It was just like this endless sort of. And then it became anxiety inducing. So I was like, if I'm going to be sick, how am I going to like do that? Because this thing is like, it wasn't. Yeah, I was a bit unwell, shall we say? But we got through, and yeah, here, live to tell the tale.
Brilliant. If you knew somebody else who was going off to spend a week with some friends on the boat, what advice would you give them?
First thing I would say to the host would be select who you invite, because it's not for everyone. It's fantastic, but I think you have to really reset what your expectations are, and ideally not go in with either any expectations or high expectations, because it's not like that. But be comfortable with your emotions, I'd say, and talk to people and say, I've got this, there's no privacy, there's nothing that's yours on the boat, really. There's nothing that's really yours, it's ours, and I think the host will be quite glad to get their house back.
What did you think of the sailing? Did some sailing stuff here. How did you find that?
Well, I wasn't hired for my skill, I was probably hired for my like brute force, and I really enjoyed getting stuck in. I know it's nice to feel useful when you're just not like that useful in other ways. So I did lots of like rope things, and I tried to do knots, but it became psychological with the knotting. I could do it when I was like sat there relaxing, looking at things, and then it all just went a bit south on demand. So yeah, bad. But when we actually got moving sailing, it was really, really splendid. It was spectacular. Like when the engine went off, you were just like part of like nature's cradle with the sea, and you were like, but it's scary shit out there as well. Like we learned that it's fine. The time we can't speak of, it's too soon. But yeah.
What were the absolute highlights?
I think highlight was, for me, the place where we were last night. That name's, they're all bloody same to loads of them. The colour of that water, I don't think a camera could really capture. That was really, really good. It got a bit rolly, which is when the boat goes, and it was fine, but me being a solid sea dog, I was alright. That was pretty spectacular, but I've just enjoyed not being around loads of British people. And discovering things I would never have discovered, like on the road or by land and stuff. And again, you earn that privilege from the faff it takes. You can't just like leave, you're not just gone. But you know, have a nice sail. It's like you have to have a full team talk, proper this, that, you're doing this, and you're like, with that effort, they're laughing at me, they're putting up. With that effort comes the reward of being in beautiful places.
Question for me, what do you think about this life? What have you taken away from this life?
Good question. I think it's not, I've said before, it's not easy, it's not just lounging around like having a lovely time, although there are lots of lovely times. I would say it is a different way of doing life. That's how I would summarise it. It's not a better way for everyone. It's not, for me, I don't think I could do it like full time, long term, but that's like me. But it shows you that you can. Most people, they've got some choice in the matter. You can do your life differently, and this is just one of many options. It could look totally different for other people, and it's really made me think about what is important and what I value. And you know, you spend your whole life, don't you, like climbing, education, university, job, career, and it's whether it gets to that point where that kind of plateaus and you don't get that that correlation between happiness and money. Well, then money gives you choices, and I think you have required some money to get this where you need it to be, and that's okay to say. It's how you choose to spend that money, and reset what your definition of success is, which is really hard for me because I probably hung my hat on my career, and so to not have a career I would find quite difficult. It would probably be a bit of a process, but I think Kath and T have sort of been through that, and that's why they're here, and they're living their best life, and all power to them.